In this explainer, we are going to build a complete Grafana dashboard from absolute scratch. And the best part? We're going to do it all right in your browser using a public sandbox. That means you can follow along, click for click, with zero installation needed. All right, let's dive in.
So check this out. This is what we're building. It's a clean, interactive dashboard showing key metrics, a real-time error count, and live streaming logs. Now, it might look a little complicated, but I promise we're going to build this exact thing from the ground up in literally just a few minutes.
So here's the game plan. We'll start with our goal, get our data sources connected, build out the actual visuals, make it all interactive with some filters, and then, stick around for this, I'm going to share one huge mistake that you'll definitely want to avoid.
Okay, first things first. Before we can start making any cool-looking charts or graphs, we've got to tell Grafana where our data actually lives. This is, without a doubt, the foundation of everything we're about to do. In the world of Grafana, this connection is just called a data source. You can think of it like a bridge from Grafana to wherever your data is stored. It could be a database, a metrics server, you name it. For this build, we're going to use two of the most popular tools out there, Prometheus for our numbers and Loki for our logs.
And the process for adding a data source? It's super simple, and it's the same every time. You just head over to Connections, click Add New, search for what you need, like, say, Prometheus, plug in the details, and hit Save and Test. Seriously, that's it.
And you want to know what's crazy? For our whole setup here in Grafana Play, these two URLs are the only things we need. The first one is for Prometheus. That's where all our numbers over time data lives, things like request latency. The second one is for Loki, and that's where all our text-based log messages are stored.
All right, our data is all hooked up. Now for the really fun part, actually bringing that data to life. Let's get to building.
So, the fundamental building blocks of any dashboard in Grafana are called panels. Just think of each panel as a little window into your data. It could be a graph, a big number, a list of logs, and each one is tied to one of the data sources we just set up. We're going to add 3 different kinds.
We'll kick things off with a classic, the time series panel. This is your absolute go-to for plotting values over time. We'll just hook it up to Prometheus, write a quick little query to graph request latency, and boom, it's perfect for spotting trends.
Next up, the stat panel. This one is awesome for when you need a single super important number to just pop off the screen. We'll use it to show a big, bold count of the total errors from our app. It's the perfect way to get that at-a-glance check on your system's health. And finally, the logs panel. We'll connect this one directly to our Loki data source. And what it gives us is a real-time streaming view of our application's logs. And this is where the magic happens, because now we have our metrics and our logs right next to each other, giving us the whole story in one place.
Okay, our dashboard is looking pretty good, but it's totally static. A good dashboard is nice, but a great dashboard is one you can actually play with. So let's add a filter and make this thing dynamic.
The official Grafana documentation has this line that just nails why this next part is so important. Basically, hard coding stuff is fragile and clunky. Using variables, that's where the real power is.
And this is where dashboard variables come into play. A variable is just a fancy name for a placeholder. It gives us a slick little drop-down menu at the top of our dashboard, which lets anyone, and I mean anyone, change the data they're looking at without ever having to write a single line of code. So when we create one, we give it a few properties. Like a name, we'll use Audula service in our queries. We'll set it up to ask Prometheus, hey, what services do you know about? And it'll populate the dropdown for us. Then we just update our panels to use that Audula service variable. Just like that, all 3 of our panels are now controlled by that single dropdown. It's so cool.
So we've built a dashboard that actually works. We could stop here, but let's talk about making it good. How you present your data is just as critical as the data itself, and there's one really common trap you need to avoid.
It's what I call the wall of graphs. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's when you open a dashboard and your eyes just glaze over. It's panel after panel, just a chaotic mess of information. The temptation to add just one more graph is strong, but the result is always a slow, confusing dashboard that no one actually uses.
This question comes right from the official troubleshooting guide, and it gets right to the point. If your dashboard feels sluggish or it's just hard to understand, I can almost guarantee the problem isn't your data, it's your design. You've probably stumbled into the wall of graphs trap.
So what's the solution? It's simple. Focus. A truly great dashboard tells a specific story. Instead of adding a panel for every single server, use a variable like we just did. Let people filter. Group related things together. And please, don't be afraid of a little empty space. Trust me on this one. Fewer, more focused panels will always win.
And that brings us right back to where we started. See, by connecting our data, adding just a few targeted panels, making it interactive with a variable, and deliberately avoiding that wall of graphs, we ended up with something that's clean, fast, and genuinely useful.
So, there you have it. We've just walked through the core mechanics of building a powerful dashboard in Grafana. You now have all the fundamental building blocks you need to turn raw data into real insight. So the only question left is, what story is your first dashboard going to tell?